First of all, I would like to thank Venerable Shutran, thank the community here, and all the lay practitioners, guests, that I can be here and attend the Vinaya course, and before that the Vajrasattva retreat. And thank you for inviting me back, so to say. It has been, I'm away since 2 years from the Abbey. And those who don't know, I spent here 10, 11 years training, living, working, going through all kind of things, from the most joyful, also the most painful. But everything needed to come into my life to become that person that I ever wanted to be. And I know the journey is continuing, but I'm the most happy person than I was ever. So, and that's because of what I have gotten here. When I came here first and drove up, everything was like coming home. Even as you know, some of you know, when I first came to America, I was afraid. I did not want to have anything to do with America because Americans wear weapons and such. So that's what we got in Germany. And you may remember the conversation I had with you about being afraid standing at Safeway, alone. So, but I learned about America in these 10 years. And how wonderful the people are, especially because also this is an abbey that has an open door and everybody is invited to join and to learn the Dharma. And so I had the opportunity to meet many wonderful people like you were here, and many, 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 many more. So yeah, today I would like to speak a little bit about my journey back to Germany, but very briefly, just to put that into context, what I really want to share. I really want to share the teaching on the 4 bases of community. Those who trained here, everybody who ordained received a monastic reader, at least at my time. I don't know if it's still happening. And there you will find the teaching on the 4 bases by Bhikkhu Dhammaka, I believe. I forgot his name, I'm sorry, but it's from a sutta. And the Zakka Sutta. And so it's from the Buddha, a teaching that is very helpful if you form a community, no matter if it's a community of monastics or a community of lay practitioners in every setting. So like a family life, or you work or volunteer for an organization, or even for the whole of society. If we keep these 4 bases in our daily life, in our heart, then that can support the growth and the harmony of the community or family or organization or whatever it is, and society as a whole. And I can speak about that so confidently because I have tested it and seen it here in this community as well, embodied. Yeah. So the 4 bases of community are basically an expression of the 4 immeasurables. That's what I interpret in it. It's not in the sutta per se, but when you look into it more closely, then you see the 4 immeasurables very clearly. So the first basis is the basis of practicing generosity, and that's not an immeasurable, but we know from the bodhisattvas, they have great joy of giving, right? If somebody says to them, to a bodhisattva, just the word give in German, then they have great joy and want to give, no matter what it is. As an example is here in the community, let's say somebody asks you to help with a project. As long as you're training, or maybe you have already this kind of karma within you that you're willing to give, but as long as you're training, you're learning to give as well, because you see the necessity or you see the joy of it. You learn, you improve, you have an understanding of dependent arising, or your compassion grows over time. So then people are stepping up on the plate. Yeah. I can see it here with our monastic friends. I approach them and say, hey, let's help the seniors and let's go also do breakfast dishes. And everybody I asked has been very willing to immediately step up. Yeah, and that's a great joy. And we are in the kitchen, we have fun. So, and yeah. And in Hamburg, where I live, I'm living at the Buddhist Society Hamburg, studying at the Buddhist College, Dharma College of the Tibetan Center. And I saw at the Buddhist Society that there is help needed at creating a spiritual program. So I immediately stepped up, and they offered me also to be there, to live there, and to have a place, a Dharma place, so that I don't have to rent a flat or something like that. And I'm constantly surrounded by Dharma practitioners and teachers, so that's also the benefit of that. And I can give my skills, I can give my time and my joy in whatever I'm doing, and I really enjoy doing it, developing the program and doing some publicity together with another person who was also volunteering at the Buddhist Society, who was actually here once. And so it's very inspired that I'm back there and helping the center to grow a little bit. And yeah, so that's the joy of giving. Then the second basis is the power of speech. Yeah, we have learned from the Buddha. He gave 5 qualities that we should develop in how to speak, what to speak. And here at the Abbey, every morning, the residents are giving motivation. They bless their speech, and then they're reminding us upon to speak truthfully, to speak timely, in a timely manner, and to speak gentle, to speak kindly, and to speak at the point or in a beneficial way. Yeah. So, and I can see that too if you train yourself in that context. Like here, we learn nonviolent communication. And I know at the Tibetan Center, some people learn nonviolent communication. And at the Buddhist Society, we also offer nonviolent communication. It's very helpful. It's just one tool, but speech can also be embodied through the development of compassion. Then it automatically comes out in a very compassionate way, kind way. So, of course, if our speech is confined in that container of these 5 qualities, then that nourishes the community, and we can listen better to each other and support each other. So there may be always problems coming up. It's very normal. If we form a community, we have misunderstandings and such, but we come together again, and we recognize what has been said. Maybe it was not quite proper or not in a proper tone or something like that. In a community, it's very easy, even because then people reflect back or they say that wasn't very kind, not very compassionate, and then we can contemplate about it, and make the strong determination to speak in a more kinder way or more truthful way than before. So it's a chance. But also where I'm living in Hamburg, there are practitioners at the Tibetan Center or Buddhist Society who try to give their best to speak in these manners. And I have experienced, if there's somebody not quite in line with that, or I myself are not in line with that, and let's say I hear somebody talking badly about another person, and then I'm a monastic. Normally people try to respect that and don't talk about cars or music or speak badly. But it happens still. Somebody wants to approach me because maybe they have trust. They can tell me something, and then they have the habit of speaking in a very negative way. So then I say, I can't hear that in that way. But if you need to vent for a minute, then let me know. I can listen, and then this person vents for a minute, and then the conversation can go on in a normal way. So yeah, I'm trying at least to be a good listener and to remind the person it's better to speak in a kinder way. Yeah, but I can't force that person. I can just remind that person and be a better example myself. Yeah. Then the third basis is to be aware and sensitive about others' needs. Yeah. And again, here in the community, if somebody needs support, for example, they're overwhelmed or they're sick, people step up. Or learn to step up over time, seeing the bigger picture that's not just about themselves, but it's about the whole community and about flourishing the Dharma in the West and following and embodying the Buddha's teachings. So I myself had to learn that as well. It didn't come immediately, and I'm not a bad person because of that, because I couldn't step up immediately when it says, oh, let's do a storm. No, how you call it? Swarm. Storm. It's something similar. Let's do a swarm. And now some people couldn't hear that word in the beginning, so including myself, like it was not just a swarm, okay, let's develop some very good ideas or something like that, sit around a table, it's very joyful. No, you had to change into work clothes and go and pick up cement or something like that. Yeah, so it was work. Somebody just is approaching you on a personal level and needs advice or something like that, and they're a little bit in conflict, like when Pelgi was sharing how Geshe-la supported her when she looked a little bit disturbed, and he immediately catch that and was aware, was sensitive about that, and gave her some support. And our teacher here, Vama Shutran, is doing it since many, many years, and in many ways, different ways, supporting us to overcome our challenges and continue on the path. And at the Buddhist Society, that's my practice, for example, when I saw there needs a spiritual program, and they didn't have somebody, then I said, I can do it. You give me support, why should I not return kindness? That was very natural. Then the fourth practice is the practice of impartiality. Yeah, and that's, for example, at the Buddhist Society, it's a house for all Buddhist traditions. So the center has Theravada Buddhism, now Tibetan Buddhism, then Chinese Buddhism, Korean, Vietnamese, and several other groups like yoga, nonviolent communication, and such. And it's as a spiritual coordinator, so I can't just invite Tibetan teachers, right? I have to look, what are the teachers in the other traditions, and listen to them and call them, fight them, and figure out what is going on in this Buddhist world in the other traditions. Before that, I was just focused on Tibetan tradition. So now I extended my view and then try to create the program so that every Buddhist group feels invited in that house and feels like they're the same, that we can offer whatever teachings our tradition can offer. And I also implemented more inter-religious, inter-Buddhist dialogue. So like doing programs together with other traditions, such as Tibetan tradition with the Theravada tradition, like sharing about what I did with Bhikkhu Sukashito is a teaching or a sharing meditation about the four measurables, how we do that in our each traditions. And they found it very enriching. And I myself too, as well as Bhante. Yeah, so practice of impartiality. And here at the Abbey, we practice that too, and there may be in the beginning difficulties because we are not used to have no special friends, to try to be even-minded to each and every resident here or guest. And, now I come to my playful part. Buddha Bear came one day into my room and, he said, I would like to keep you company because I heard you needed somebody. And then he became my special friend. So I knew even that we are not allowed to have teddy bears at the Abbey. And I knew it will be only for the time being to overcome certain, in a conflict I had at the time. And then Buddha Bear got included into the community. Some of you liked her, some not so much. And that's very normal. But I like to invite you to practice impartiality with Buddha Bear as well, right? Because she is just how she is. We all have different qualities. Buddha Bear is a little bit smaller than us, and she doesn't look alike and may not behave the same way because she dances. She likes to dance, and we are not allowed to dance, whatever it is, right? This is, if we don't practice impartiality, then it will be very difficult to benefit sentient beings, right? So therefore, I mean, there are many other possibilities. Yes, Buddha Bear is there, but maybe you prefer her. I forgot the name. Bodhibak, yeah. Or her, him. Rosita Bear. Or him, Yogi Bear. Or him, Dharma Dog. Okay. Or Rainbow Bear. Or His Holiness. Loving Lamb, yeah. I keep it. Or her. Respectable raccoon. Yeah, that fits. And the newest addition to the Abbey, benevolent bear. And even if this one is very small, it wants to be loved and respected in the same way like Buddha Bear. This is just a small collection what the Abbey has here right now. We don't need more. Yes, and I hope they will find a proper place at one point so that they can nourish the hearts of those who are listening and who gave the gifts because they gave it out of love. They gave it because something got nourished in them with these kind of teachings that we started with the Buddha Bear, that Van Chötern started with the Buddha Bear. It's an act of kindness. So putting ourselves away, but thinking about how that is perceived by the others. What can we give? So these kind of interactions, playfulness, that we show that we have too. If we neglect that, then we are not full, right? And so let's include each and everybody in our journey, no matter how small or big or cute or not so cute. Let's try to be the embodiment of the four immeasurables ourselves. And as Van Chötern said 2 days ago, I believe, or 3 days ago, she said, after the question how to continue when the abbess may not be here anymore, it's through the embodiment of the four immeasurables, and everything will be fine. So Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha, Maitri, to let them come into our heart, and let the cats who are here remind us of that, because they open our hearts. Go to them and let yourself be reminded of these qualities. Yeah, thank you.